everyone, and welcome to Green Healing, where we go on a journey together to find emotional healing and emotional freedom. So today I want to talk about abusers and morality and some of the illusions that they create. The abusers corrupt the natural law expression and give the illusion of morality. So what is morality? An act that is described as in harmony with natural law, meaning respecting other sentient beings. Actions that will not harm another sentient being in any way, not physically, not mentally, not emotionally. So to be immoral is to oppose the natural law, to do things that result in harm to other beings. Abusers do this purposefully. Okay, the difference between right and wrong is either based on truth or untruth, basically. So to be correct is to be based in truth. To be incorrect means to not be based in truth. Moral versus immoral, as in right versus wrong, to kind of paint more of a global picture for you. Abusers like to fog up the lines between right and wrong. Where it is our right to respect ourselves, they will make it seem as though it harms them, to justify us harming ourselves by allowing a disrespect of our needs. They will blur the lines between moral and immoral acts and appear moral in the midst of their immoral actions. Then they push this further to make it seem as though we, the victim, we are wrong. We are in the wrong. We are incorrect. We are immoral. That is their illusion. Then they use that to justify another immoral act, punishment, that they claim will make right our so-called wrongdoings. Then if we protect ourselves, stand up for ourselves, that is wrong. So out of fear, we oblige. Hence, they get away with double the wrongdoings, the abuse and the punishment, and therefore further abuse us. It's very twisted what they do. And the man who abused me did a lot of this, played a lot with this. So here's how they further corrupt natural law. Within natural law, there are the expressions of self, which can come from either a positive or a negative place. Those of you who watch my gaming channel, the Darth Shady one, have heard me refer to the quote said by Solus from Dragon Age Inquisition about love and fear being the opposite emotions. Somewhere in the game, in the Fade, he talks about both being the most primal of emotions. Well, that's actually true, and not just in the game, in real life too. There is a term called generative polarity, which is in essence, it represents what we use for our internal being to create reality, to create either our reactions or actions, to create a story, to create when we're being creative. We can do things from a place of love, like when we do our passion, art, collaborations, being with a lover, being creative, playing interactions, friendly interactions, family interactions, playing musical instruments. All that usually comes from a place of love. Or we can do things coming from a place of fear. A simplified way, as a simplification example, you can either clean your house out of love because you want to feel good, you want to work on, the feng shui, you're opening windows, you're letting the air circulate, you're replacing a few things, you feel good about it. It's something that is brought on that will help you be creative after. It comes from a place of love. Or you can clean your house coming from a place of fear of being called a pig or being called unclean, or fear that someone might knock on the door and see a pile of clothes, a pile of laundry that hasn't been folded, or your pile of dishes and you're worried that people are going to judge you for it. That would come from a place of fear. Harming another person can also come from a place of fear, unless it's from self-defense. On va s'entendre. There are fine lines there. Some abusers, they abuse out of fear, but some of them just abuse to control. And I'll talk more about the differences when I talk about the different types of abusers in future videos / podcast. So there's how things begin, the expression of self initiating these expressions, love or fear. So there is knowledge. I sound like I'm reciting the Jedi Code. So you seek out truth. You either accept that truth or seek more in order to understand or to find whether it really is the truth. But you're in constant search of knowledge and have a self-awareness of your lack of knowledge of certain things. Or there's ignorance, where you don't even know you lack the knowledge. And you think you know, or you refuse to consider your lack of knowledge. There's also internal expression, which is how we respond internally. Serenity versus confusion. How we connect to our beliefs and feel about them and know what we believe and where we stand, versus not knowing what or who to follow or what connects with us. There's the external expression, which what happens out there, so it's freedom versus control. And manifestation, which is the result of what we've created. Order versus chaos. Although some love-created stories can be quite chaotic at the beginning, our knowledge would then allow us to fix it up and make it comprehensive. An abuser does the opposite of that. They use fear to control us, to cause us to be ignorant, to create ignorance within us, while making out they are giving us knowledge. So they are trying to dumb us down, but make us believe that we have all this knowledge. All this knowledge that they have, that we don't have, that they are so kindly informing us of, that we owe them, for which we owe them, for sharing all that knowledge with us, such ignorant beings. Like telling us we're not, here's an example, my abuser would tell me that I wasn't sexy, therefore this or that. And he would have all the information of why that was and what I need to do to be that and how I owe him for helping me become that. You know, today, to me, it makes no sense what he would do, but it's very, as you can see, it's very twisted and gets very complex. So hopefully I got through that slowly enough, because even me, I have to reread all these notes every once in a while to remember to go through it. You know, it's a lot to take in. So hopefully I'm doing it in a comprehensive way and not in a chaotic way. So abusers, they like to tell us lies. So they tell us something. It is a lie, but they make it appear as truth. They contradict themselves constantly, and their reasons are contradictory, keeping us confused. So we are even more ignorant, even more afraid, and unable to stand up for ourselves. Thus, they appear to us as the order that will save us from ourselves, the chaos, when in reality, they are the chaos, the perpetrators of chaos. And once we wake up to that truth, we can bring order to our lives and be free from their control and just be like rid of those abusers once we get woke, you know, once we wake up to the actual truth. It's a lot of information to take in, the moral versus immoral, the natural law, and it's very twisted and very confusing and chaotic how abusers use this to twist reality and confuse us and keep us ignorant. So hopefully I was able to make sense of it for you. And sometimes my notes confuse me. So if you need me to, let me know if you want me to elaborate even more on this, to put even more order to the chaos created by our past abusers and trauma-based instigators. We can call it that. And that's it for today's episode. So stay tuned for more. And remember, be well, find your internal power, and be emotionally free.